Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Hannah Claire Reads. I know this video is coming to you just a little bit late. Things have been a little bit crazier now that I am back in school. Most of my classes are online, but I'm still in school and I have a lot more going on, but I'm still hoping to upload at least weekly. And today we're going to do probably the favorite video on my channel. It's the most viewed one, but that is the picker wheel. So for the month of August, I did a picker wheel video and I have a bunch of categories and the wheel spun and picked one out and I didn't do so well. So I read one of the books that was on the list. The others, I kind of fulfilled the categories, but I didn't read those books. So I think what I learned from that experience is that I'm too much of a mood reader to just like pick a book and stick with it all the time. So I think I'm going to end up using these as more so categories. These are going to be the 5 categories that I want to read from this next month, so in September. And I'm going to show you a couple of books that I might be interested in. So yeah, you'll see how I actually did in my wrap-up video, which I'm hoping to put up next week for both July and August, because I read a lot of books lately. But yeah, that's how this spinner wheel video is going to work. Let's go over the categories really quickly. I took some out from last time, but most of them are just the same. But I didn't want like book with over 500 pages in it if I didn't want to read a book that was that long, because you know I'm in school and that's just harder right now. So the categories are roommate's pick, most recent purchase, a classic, a book that's been on my shelf for a while, a mystery thriller, a fantasy, a historical fiction, an adult book, and a Kindle book. Let's see what the first category I get is. Let's spinning. I turned the sound off so that we don't have the obnoxious spinning thing. Most recent purchase. Okay. So, fun thing with this, I'm actually reading my most recent purchase right now. I Killed Zoe Spanos and I'm reading that right now. So what was the last book I bought? Because this one, I'm probably actually gonna have to read the book. Okay, so I bought so many books in the month of August that it took me a while to figure out which books I actually bought when, but then I realized that the last book that I bought was Persepolis, The Story of a Childhood. Actually, I bought both books, but I think I would just read one this month. I mean, if I want to read 2, that's great, but I'm just gonna hold up one and talk about one. So this is by Marjane Satrapi, and it is the story, I'm not completely sure, I feel terrible about that. Okay, but it's a memoir about a girl growing up in Iran during the Islamic Revolution. It is a black and white graphic novel. So this would be something really easy to read right now because I'm in school and this won't take me super long, but I've heard that it's also like super heartbreaking and really, really good. So I'm excited to finally read this. This will be a good one. Okay, so that's number 1, and I want to do 5. So let's see what we get next. Roommate's pick. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna go get my roommate. Okay, so Charity's busy right now, so I'll get her later. We'll figure out what book she picks. I think I'm gonna have her pick 2 books, and then I'm gonna choose which one I actually want to read, because like just in case I'm not in the mood for one, maybe I'll be in the mood for another. That's just gonna be how my brain works. So I think that's what I'll do. But for now, we'll see what the other 3 categories are. Yes, a mystery thriller, my favorite genre. So I am actually already planning on reading a mystery thriller for the book club that I am in with Hannah Franklin and Hannah Badger over at 2 Bookish Hannahs. We have our 3 Bookish Hannahs book club, and we are reading Mexican Gothic in the month of September. We're so excited, and it is kind of a mystery thriller. It's more so horror fantasy, but it kind of counts, but I'm gonna be ambitious and I'm gonna give you two others that I really want to read. So one of those is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This is like mystery sci-fi from what I've heard, and this is one of my most recent purchases. I've been really wanting to read it. The font's kind of small, but you know what? I think it's going to be a fun book. I've heard that it's non-stop action, so this would be a great book to read right now. The other mystery thriller that I have in mind is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. I love Tiffany D. Jackson, and I want to just read everything she's ever written, and this is the other one that I own that I need to read. So this one would be really great to read. I've heard it's really sad and heartbreaking too, so I might not be able to handle it this month. But at the same time, I'm in a Black women writers class right now in school, and it's just inspiring me to read even more Black authors than I already am, and I kind of want to just read all of the Black women writers right now. And so this one would be a really great book to read, and if I enjoy it, like, recommend. I almost recommended Tiffany D. Jackson the class today, but I didn't feel like it was the moment. But I kind of just want to like give them all of my YA recommendations and get all of their book recommendations, because I feel like that's what we're going to be doing in this class, but I'm excited. So yeah, I might read Monday's Not Coming. I didn't capture that last spin and my results, so I'm just going to do it over again. You know what? We'll put that one back on and we'll just spin it again, because you know what? That's just, it's fine. I make the rules here. Spinner wheel does not determine my life. Fantasy! Well, wonderful. I'm actually really in a fantasy mood, and I have lots of books for this. So the first book that I'm interested in reading for this fantasy challenge is, oh, why am I blanking on what it's called? The House of Salt and Sorrow. So I just got this from the library, and it's supposed to be a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, which is my second favorite Barbie movie ever. I love that movie. So I would really like to read this. It's on my Kindle, so once I finish I Killed Zoe Spanos, like, I'm planning on reading this, but I might, if I like don't like it for whatever reason, I do have two other options, and the first one of those is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I've been specifically in the mood for retellings lately. Like, I just read To Kill a Kingdom, which was a Little Mermaid retelling, so I'm thinking I would also really like Heartless. Also, I've heard good things about it. I haven't heard a ton of things in general about it, but like, I love Marissa Meyer. She's my favorite YA author, at least one of them, so I need to read everything that she's ever written, and one of those that I have that I haven't read is Heartless, so Heartless will be a great book for me to read right now. And then finally, I have The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. My friend has been on me about reading this, and I know I will love it. I just haven't continued, and I've owned this book for so long that I accidentally also bought the ebook. I'm kind of embarrassed about that I now own 2 copies of this book for no reason. But yeah, you know, it's okay. Eventually I'm gonna get to it, and I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be worth it. But yeah, this is another fantasy option. Okay, last spin before I find out what my roommate's gonna pick for me. A Kindle book. Okay. This works well because I could technically read Heartless, because that's one of my Kindle books. I keep all of my Kindle books on little not post-its, note cards, so that I can keep track of them, and see them in my head. Like, I have a stack of note cards. That's just how I do it. But I have a bunch of Kindle books that I really need to read. Okay, so I just picked out 3 other Kindle books that I'm interested in reading this month. The first is A Study in Charlotte. I keep trying to read this, and I don't like it. I don't like it, but I own it, and Emma from Perfect Paperbacks and I, we're going to read it together, and we just don't like it. And I don't want to DNF it because I feel like it's a buddy read and we should finish it. And I spent money on it, but at the same time I just don't like the book. But that's an option. I am also waiting for my audiobook to come in from the library so that I can finish it that way. That's an option, and that'd be a Kindle book technically, because I started it on Kindle. But anyway, another book that I've had on my shelves probably since I was 15, maybe longer than that, 6 years, is Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Grodin. This is supposed to be like a re-envisioned World War II, I think. I don't know much about it, but I remember Sasha from a Book Utopia. Yeah, that's what her channel used to be called. Yeah, Book Utopia. yeah, she used to love this book and she would talk about it all the time, and that's why I bought it. And it was also really cheap that day, and I haven't read it. But you know what? Maybe I'd love it if I would just read it. And then finally, I have I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zusak. I loved The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and I've been wanting to read I Am the Messenger for a long time. I know it's a mystery, and that's what makes me excited about reading this one. So, you know what? If I'm still in a mystery mood, I could still read this one. That'd be great. Okay, so I just got my roommate to pick 2 books out for me, and I was really excited because the first one she picked is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. And you know what? I'm kind of in the mood to keep going with this duology. I loved Vicious, like one of my favorite books of 2020. I know it, but I haven't read Vengeful yet, and I've heard mixed things about it because I don't feel like Vengeful is necessary. And I don't know how it's gonna go, but I loved Vicious, and I'm hoping I'm gonna love this one. This one's pretty big though, but you know what? Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it this month. But she was also really nice and picked a shorter book in case I didn't want to read that one, and that one is Magonia by Maria Devana Headley. I actually started reading this back when I was probably like 15 or something, and I bought it for my Contagion literature research because it kind of has like a magical realism type thing going on, and it's kind of tied to health and disease. I don't know, I have not had good luck with magical realism lately, especially when it comes to illness. Like, I just don't like that concept, but I bought the book and I need to read it. So I'm hoping I'm gonna like this one. It was just kind of weird when I started it a long time ago. It's just really, really weird. So if you've read this book, please comment down below because I want to hear your thoughts. I remember when it came out and everyone was obsessed with the cover and the concept, but then like no one read it. It was one of those books. So I don't really know what's going on with this one. Yeah, another option. So I did want to tell you a couple of other books that I already plan on reading this month. The first is Mexican Gothic, and I can't remember the author right now, but I'll put it right here. I'm reading this with the 3 Bookish Hands book club, as I just said, so this is one book that I have to read this month. And other than that, I do need to read a lot of Sherlock Holmes this month, which I'm really excited about. I'm taking a forensics of Sherlock Holmes class for my anthropology major, and it's going to be a really fun class. I've already started reading A Study in Scarlet, but we're reading a ton of the Sherlock Holmes stories throughout the class, and I'll include those in my wrap-ups and everything because, you know what, I put effort in and I read them. I haven't decided how I want to count them in my Goodreads though. Like, do you think I should count each individual story, even if it's only like 30 pages? Into my Goodreads challenge, or should I only count the bigger ones like A Study in Scarlet and Hound of the Baskervilles and A Sign of 4? Like, should I count just the novels, or should I also count the stories? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. So that's all for this video. I really like this new way that I'm doing the spinner wheel. I feel like there's a lot less pressure to read 5 very specific books. I kind of just have an idea of some general categories, and I have a little bit of a challenge. It feels more like a readathon, how you have like certain challenges that you have to complete, but you don't usually have to read a very specific book. So I think this is going to be really fun. Stay tuned for my wrap up for July and August. There's going to be a lot of books in there that I both loved and hated, so that will be fun. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you like this video, and you can subscribe and hit the little cute bell icon if you want to be updated every time I post a new video. I really like that feature because, you know what, I need to know every time Ray Reads or Two Bookish Hannahs or Jessie the Reader posts a new video. Like, I need to know all the time because, you know what, they're my favorites. They're my favorite channels out there. But you can even do that for me if you like my channel. So make sure you like and comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!